Welcome to Sunday School. Or whenever day you are watching school. Um, so I have something really cool to talk about. So you know our church building, right? So this building, or not this building. Okay, let me start. Our church, Redeemer Lutheran Church here in Hartford, is you know how many years old? Guess. 100 years old. I don't have enough fingers to tell you how old this church is. 100 years old. But this building where we worship is not 100 years old. This building that we worship in is it has less years. And it has less years because it took a lot of time and a lot of planning to build this structure where we worship every Sunday, and where I work, where I record these classes for you. And we need to plan when we build something. Plan very carefully. Planning needs to happen. And so we know certain things beforehand. So we know what we're going to need and how much of it, how many people should help, how much money we are going to spend building, right? And if we have to save for that money. But first, we need to know. That's part of planning. Also, how we would like it to look, not only outside, but also inside, because not all church buildings look the same. Every single church building looks different. And the people that made it look that way had to plan before it. So, I have a few images that I want to show you. But the first thing that I want to show you, I think it's really cool. These are this building's plans. Look at this. People a long time ago made drawings and figured out how this place was gonna look. Look at this. And this is old. This is older than me. So it's very fragile, so I don't wanna. So for example, our church was not as big as it is right now. So in the beginning, it was a little bit smaller, and you can see it. So these are part of our plans. This is how it looks in the outside. And let me see if I see a year here. Well, cannot see a year. Not right now. But these are our church building plans. Let's see. There has to be. So it was revised 1978. But if it was, received 1978. So I'm older than the building. Not for much, but I'm older. So these are cool things that we have in our church. And so therefore, the structure took time, took a lot of effort from different people, and a lot of money. And that's part of planning. And planning, like I told you, it's really, really, really important for a church and for other things. So this is how our church looks right now. And these are the different things that our church has. So our church has very cool stained glass windows. This is just one of them, and this is the big one that we have in the back in the area of our lobby or narthex. And this is how our church looks. Our sanctuary where we worship looks like. So remember when we were talking about David that won the battle against Goliath and the Philistines? Well, David became an adult. So this is David as an adult. And like Samuel said, he became the king. He became the king of Israel. So one of the things that he did wonderful things as a king. And one of the things that he did was, remember those 12 brothers or those 11 brothers that sold Joseph to this Egyptian merchant? Well, those became, each brother formed a very large group of people. Starting with their kids and their kids' kids, became a very large group of people. And those in the Bible are called tribes. So since there were 12 brothers, there were 12 tribes. And with all these people's descendants. So King David, one of the things that King David did was organize all those 12 tribes and formed a nation with culture, with religion, a huge nation admired by many. So he grew up, he became a king, and he had a son. This son's name is Solomon. And Solomon also became a king, obviously. So King David, another thing that King David did was that he was planning to build a temple. It was like a church where people could worship God. So before David, God was represented and in this sort of altar. It's called the Ark of the Covenant. And the people of Israel, before having a temple, had to carry that wherever they would go. And surrounding the Ark of the Covenant, there was some sort of a structure made out of curtains, beautiful curtains, and it was called the tabernacle. So this was inside the tabernacle, and the tabernacle looked something similar to this. Okay? After you finish watching this video, you're gonna see a third video and where you can see how the tabernacle should have looked like. Okay? So he wanted a solid structure so they could put the Ark of the Covenant and people worship God. So he did the planning, all the planning. Remember the video? It looked something like this, his plans. But he was from battle to battle, from war to war, and never had the time to build. So his son, when he became king, where's Solomon? Okay, here it is. When Solomon became king, one of his biggest projects, because God gave Solomon so many talents. He was so wise, so intelligent, so capable. So he started building the temple. But now but obviously he did it with the help of God. Let's read the story, shall we? And the story is called A Royal Tribute. For years, King David had dreamed of the night he'd build his great God a temple so bright. But with a war on the left and a war on the right, poor David just could not stay out of a fight. Like I told you, he was from war to war. David's son Solomon loved his dear dad. So when David died, Saul became very sad. He wept and he wailed. What a father he had! Building the temple would have made him so glad. He gathered great cedars and pieces of stone, but Saul didn't do all his building alone. There were men thick and thin, strong of muscle and bone. They pushed and they pulled and they grunted and groaned. Inside the temple, they filled every space with beautiful carvings that told of God's grace. Just like our temple, just like our sanctuary has things like that. One final touch, when they'd finished the raise, the great golden ark in the holiest place. Remember? The shiny new temple, it sure drew a crowd, but to all of the Israelites, God made a vow. God's favor would shine on them, not just right now, but for all of time. To God only will bow. And this is the end of our story, called A Royal Tribute. So, how about doing some crafts? Well, this one, obviously, you're going to need scissors. You are going to need glue, and you are going to need crayons, markers, color pencils, whatever. The first thing that we are going to do, obviously, guess what it is? Yes, you're right. Color each square. After we color each square, guess what else are we going to do? We're going to cut, and we're going to cut where? Yes, along the blue lines. So, we're going to cut this along the blue line. We cut here. We cut here. We cut here. And we cut here. So the next thing that we're gonna do after we color and after we cut the squares, we're gonna organize them like in the order of sequence. Like the first one was building takes planning. 1. Then the second one is, guess what? Building takes time. The third one, from father to son, Solomon inherited everything, all the building. And the next one, building takes many helpers. The next one, Moses' tabernacle, tent for God. And the last one, Solomon's temple for God. Okay, so now that we have them in order, now that they're colored, now that they're cut, we are going to fold them. In the back of each image, there is this, and it says fold. So we're going to fold it like this along the dotted line. Fold it. Fold this one too. We're going to fold each and every one of them, okay? And you're going to do what I'm doing, like place them in order. Don't mess with the order, okay? We fold this one. Fold this one. Fold this one. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to build something like an accordion. I mean, I need to see the instructions. I don't want to mess this up. Okay, so let's see. We're going to, okay. We are going to glue this. Call your parents or call a brother or a sister because you're going to get confused. You're going to put glue here and glue here, and you are going to glue them like this together. And that's what we're going to do with each and every one of these, like little, is that what we're going to do? Let's see. Let's try something here. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so with the glue stick or whatever glue you have at hand, I'm gonna put glue here. Put glue. Glue this side together. Okay. The next one. On the brown side, you're gonna glue the brown side to the green side. Aye. This is gonna be interesting. And then we're gonna then glue the red side to the purple side, okay? You don't have to, yeah. Red side to the purple side, like this, like so. And then the green side of this image, the green side to the brown side, okay? The green side to the brown side. I need more glue. The green side to the brown side. Again, ask your parents to help you because I am having trouble. And then the blue side to the orange side. And then you're gonna, this last one, you're gonna put glue on both sides. But you're gonna glue the red side to the blue side, this one, and the orange side to the other blue side. So it can look like, it can be like this. I am no Martha Stewart, but I am trying. And if you don't know who Martha Stewart is, I know that some of your parents know. Okay, now I'm going to glue this here. And this here. Yes, it worked. It worked. So this is our story. It should look something like this. And if I could do it, I know that you can. So here we have the story. The first image starting here. It takes planning. Building takes time. From father to son. Building takes helpers and Solomon Temple. And if it's not on the same order, you know what? You did great. Let's close with a prayer. Dear God, you are the best builder. Help us to be builders who use love and kindness to make the world a better place. Amen. Well, I'll see you next time. It's going to be soon, and it's going to be the first story of your new packet that you should have received last week, okay? Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.